Hello, my name's Ben.
And my name's Josh.
And welcome back to FPL Graduates, and welcome back to another video, another transfer talk. As we know, it's been European nights galore this week in the midweek, and now we're back ready for game week 10.
Yeah, some interesting players to choose from in this video, some big differentials as well to boost you up the ranks. Let's get into it. Okay, so coming up first this week is a goalkeeper. We don't tend to put goalkeepers into this, but this one sparked a little bit of interest after him starting the last two games for Chelsea. Obviously, played the weekend against Palace. They conceded one goal. Obviously, Palace are a decent side going forward anyway. He started as well for Chelsea in midweek, so it seems like he's getting a bit of form starting, I guess you could say. 4.4 million is the main draw here. Obviously, he's so cheap to get into that Chelsea defence. You can get into that defence for Wes Fofana if he's playing as well. So some good options in that Chelsea defence, especially with those fixtures coming up as well. What's your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, we're unsure on the sort of situation with KEPA, really. There's a lot of unknowns with that. We know Edouard Mendy is back in full training now. And it is rumoured and leaked that Potter does prefer KEPA because of his ball-playing ability compared to Edouard Mendy. So it's worth bearing that in mind. For me, it'd probably be a wait for sort of game week 10 against Wolves, then make that informed decision, because if Mendy plays in game week 10, you're probably not looking at Kepa as an option any longer. Let's see if he plays in game week 10 and see what Potter says in the pre-match press conferences, because if Mendy's still not 100%, you know, we may not know regarding that. So it's one to definitely keep an eye out on over the press conferences. Okay, so next up, we've got the most informed man in the league right now is James Maddison. His stats over 2022 in general have been phenomenal, and that was backed up last week by a massive 18-point haul there on Monday night, and we were absolutely buzzing with that, and I see no slowing down from James Maddison at all. Bournemouth away in game week 10 is a fantastic fixture. Crystal Palace at home could provide some sort of problems, but Leeds at home, Wolves away, he could again get some decent returns in that. So I anticipate James Maddison is going to be one of the guys that you have to get in at this current moment in time.
Yeah, I was shocked at his ownership still being under, 15%, 20%. It's crazy numbers. He's been in such good form this season, as Ben alluded to. 7 returns in 7 games so far. Yes, his XG and his XA are being outperformed, but we're going to expect that with James Maddison. He doesn't tend to score high XG chances anyway. He's not going to be like Haaland getting in the 6-yard box, tapping them home. He tends to score from free kicks, long distance shooting, stuff like that. And he's been getting quite a few opportunities to do that. If you watched the game on Monday night against Forest, you would have seen how influential he is into that Leicester team. Everything goes through him, and he was unlucky not to get more than 2 goals and 1 assist on Monday night. So I'm very much looking forward to that Bournemouth away fixture this weekend. Next up, it is WILFRIED ZAHA, and I feel like we've had Maddison and ZAHA on transfer targets almost every single week this year. It's because they're just such good options, and they're still relatively low owned. ZAHA more owned than Maddison at the minute, though, under 18% owned. Obviously, didn't return against Chelsea, but that was sort of expected. Nothing really expecting from him in that fixture. But look at that sea of green coming up. Leeds at home, Leicester away, Wolves at home, Everton away, and Southampton at home. Genuinely could come out of that 5-game period with maybe 50 points. What's your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, he definitely could. And I think the Crystal Palace double up is viable and a good strategy to go with over the next 5 game weeks. And ZAHA is a talisman. Remember, guys, outside the top 6 teams, we recommend talismanic figures in clubs. So the likes of WILFRIED ZAHA and James Maddison are talismans for their respective clubs, and they provide the majority of the returns right now. And ZAHA, plays up top in a Crystal Palace team that is very decent. They've got a lot of good talent in that team, and the fixtures coming up are just too good to ignore. Okay, so next up, we've got a very interesting one, and one I think we're going to be waiting until sort of the press conferences to decide whether we're going to bring him in. It's Anthony Martial. Now, it's an interesting one because Mitrovic is touch and go whether he's going to be fit for game week 10. We're going to find out very, very soon. Probably by the time the video comes out, we will know if this move is a good one to make because he looks decent against Manchester City, bagged a couple of goals, and Martial up front when he's in form, because we know Martial just dips in and out of form. He's one of those players who will go on a hot streak, a bit like Heung-min Son. So I anticipate Martial could have a good next few game weeks. Everton away is a little bit of a tough one. But, I anticipate Man United improving a lot more after that Manchester City result.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy. He's got 3 goal involvements in 76 minutes of football so far this season. It's really good numbers from him. He was on the penalty as well when he got subbed on with Bruno on the pitch, which is interesting. I don't know if that's because he won it and he just sort of took it. It was a dead rubber game at that point, but it's something to bear in mind. 6.9 million as well. It's a little risk. You could always transfer him out. The tough thing is with him is that he's got pretty difficult fixtures coming up with the likes of Newcastle, Tottenham, Chelsea, and West Ham. They're not necessarily easy fixtures for Man United, and we're not too sure if he's totally nailed. So I would wait and see how many minutes he gets on Thursday night, and then go from there. So our fifth and final player this week is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Another differential forward option that you could be looking at to maybe replace Jesus with. Arsenal blank in game week 12. He scored on his Premier League debut for Chelsea last weekend, which was a really tidy finish from a low XG chance. Do we think Aubameyang is going to get the opportunities going forward, Ben, to score more points?
I think he's going to get the starts. We'll wait and see on that, of course. 9 million is a little bit of an awkward price point, though, for most of you guys, especially with the template right now, potentially being free strikers. So for me, it's probably, again, a wait and see for a couple of game weeks and maybe looking to bring him in sort of before Aston Villa away or Brentford away. So that rounds up our transfer targets video. Yeah, let us know what you think of the transfer targets that we're looking to get in this week. And let us know, who are you looking to bring in for your transfer targets this week ahead of game week 10?
Yeah, as always, guys, if you want to see our team reveals before the deadline, head over to our Patreon. You can go and check it out there. Nice little community as well of guys over there. Shout out to all of you.
And as always, I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And we'll see you guys
later. Have a good game week, everyone.